Good morning, Nicolina. Thank you so much for your help this morning, dear. Um, Peach Punch, thank you for joining us. Brainworms, thank you for being third. Um, I just wanted to come here for a moment and speak with you all. Let me turn this fan off. So, I hadn't been getting involved in what was going on with Anastasia. If you're not familiar with who Anastasia is this gal here. Now, Jimto is very James. We're going to call him James today because this is not a joking matter. There's some developments with this young gal. She had an abusive, has an abusive uh, boyfriend. She got pregnant. He beat her. The child died in utero. She stayed with him and she got pregnant yet again. So there is a All right. Sorry about that. So, I'm just a little bit shaking this morning. I'm sorry. Yeah, I had the sound all jacked up. I had to join from the phone. So, what we have is the young gal Anastasia. Okay. Everybody can hear me now? All right. Is good to go. The phone has just been going nuts. I'm sorry. Forgive me. Okay. Now, what we have is we have this gal right here. This is Anastasia. Okay. Anastasia, her father's in prison, her mother's on drugs. She was taken by Miss Sandra, who I spoke with this morning, essentially at birth. Okay. Now, the woman, this devoted survivor warrior, she had Anastasia placed with her at 16 because Miss Sandra became ill, very ill. At which time she did not keep the child long. She kicked her out, where she then fell into the hands of an abusive man who then got Anastasia pregnant. And she lost the child in utero or in vitro, whichever. She didn't leave him. She stayed to get pregnant again. There are developments this morning. I'm not at liberty to say what they are. I know the outcome, or what's outcoming, I should say, rather. And I've been asked not to speak about that part. I will ask you to please keep Anastasia and Sandra in your prayers today, and every day upcoming, please. Sandra said that Mary is not a good person, evidently. It's not my opinion of Mary. This is the opinion of the woman that placed Anastasia with this woman. Okay. Now, well, hold on. I want you to hear something really quick. I'm going to send, I should be able to do it like this. Turn my speaker on. There we go. All right. I'm going to try to make this work here.
She's never been, Anastasia was never adopted. She was appointed guardian at the time. That was over at the age of 16.
Did she make money off of this online?
Oh, yeah, she did.
Did she?
Oh, yeah.
So you know that she enlisted the help of that guy, the Stand. He's married a 12-year-old because in Kentucky it's legal to marry 12-year-olds if you get them pregnant. And then he took the lady who is his wife now. He kidnapped her away from her parents and took her to Charlotte, North Carolina. And I think for about 2 years they begged him to bring her back. And finally they said that if they let him marry her, would he bring her back? And he said yes. So you ought to see the wedding pictures. I mean, she looks like a little girl. So that's proof that I spoke with Miss Sandra. Now, again, she's exploiting this girl, and I'm not at liberty to say what is going on. Although I could say that, I would say, because I wasn't asked not to, I could say that Miss Mary has trouble on the water. We'll say that, right? Miss Mary is probably most certainly going to be facing some sort of, at the very least, a civil issue. Now, with that being said, these things typically never end well. Even if in the event that there is a death, it's supremely not well. Or in the event that they find this woman who is somebody's child, somebody's grandchild, then you've got a long process of rehabilitating this individual to try to get them back somewheres close to where they were, the best you can, before the event. Okay. I apologize. I'm just a little bit shaken this morning. For whatever reason, I mean, I had the phone right by my ear. I don't know why. That phone rang, and I don't even think it rang all the way fully one time, and I was on it. I'm really kind of saddened by the developments of this morning. Miss Sandra is going to come speak with us. Probably won't be for yet a few more days. She has a lot of things to wrap up and a lot of things to start up. I'm saddened by the empathy that I have for this young woman and Miss Sandra. I am, however, not saddened by the fact that Mary has been exploiting a child. I'll say that she's been exploiting this child, this girl. I have a daughter the same age. I have a soon-to-be ex-stepdaughter who is 1 year younger. And I can't imagine. I cannot imagine what this family has went through. This young girl has not spoken with her mother up to this point. I think it had been quite a long time since she had spoken with her. There's a finality for all of us, right? There's a finality for all of us. And I just want Jimbo and Kemper to know that you guys are despicable. I tried to work it out in my mind, like, who's crazier? The crazy person or the person who attempts to stay with crazy? The person that attempts to stay with crazy would be Kemper. The crazy is Jimbo. That would also make Thelmer crazier for trying to stay with crazy as well. So I told Miss Sandra that Mary, the best that she could do to look for this girl, the best she could do was a man that back to back, 2 different children, married one and had sex with the other, and then, well, married both of them. Hell, I'm still waking up. He's married 2 children, and that's the best care and networking that Mary could do. Now, I will tell you this, not for nothing,
This woman didn't want any Cash Apps. She didn't want any GoFundMes. I know that they will be creating a GoFundMe at some point today that will be released to the public for the consumption of us. I don't want people that are facing hard financial times right now. I do not want you to contribute to it. If you do have some extra coins laying around, feel free to please go ahead and send what you can. Can I use your lighter, Mom? Do not make yourself short for any reason. I mean, even for what you think is a good reason, still ends up being a bad reason. So, yeah, that's it. Prayers cost nothing, and they do all the work, right? The money does very little of nothing. Pray for the child. There was a child involved in this. She was pregnant 4 months. Is pregnant 4 months, and that is 2 losses, and then the prior child that she lost when she was beaten. So she's lost a child already. I don't know what headspace she's in, but there are some developments. And I just thank you everyone for coming in. It's just the saddest fucking thing. It's the saddest fucking thing. So again, like I said, Miss Sandra will be coming to speak with us here. She knows the child's lineage. She knows this child. And I say child, she's younger than me by many years. So, it's unbelievable. What you are seeing is a very clear-cut hero syndrome, people. You're seeing a man that married 2 children and had sex with 2 children try to rush in and try to reset and reboot and upgrade who he is to the general constituency on YouTube. Mr. James, Mr. Collins, you have absolutely zero business dealing with anything in the advocate range, and especially that has to do with children. Now, this one is outside of your pay grade because, well, a 19-year-old isn't really, it's not your speed. You like them far younger than that. But how dare you come here without doing the backlog on who Mary is? You allowed a woman to come up who is not the child's mother and get money when there is no resolution. Yes, you have zero right to get involved with anything having to do with a child. Or because after I told Miss Sandra that you have been responsible for a child going missing, sir. You were responsible for a young girl who looks like she's not even old enough. I don't know. She's clearly not old enough to buy cigarettes. Jimbo can't even drive a car, can't go buy their own condoms, can't vote. You know it's a problem when you're marrying children who are too young to go buy their own condoms. But the state of Kentucky has deemed old enough to have sex. 12 years old. You have zero business. Zero business. And what you allowed her to do is come on and zap the very few people you have around you with money. You helped Another low life, and I'll say it, Mary, you're a low life. I don't know you. I don't know nothing about you. I know you're 10 minutes old to me. You're a low life for what I heard about you. I played a small excerpt. Mary, go back and listen to it. You are a low life. Now, somewhere in there, I have to give you some real estate because you did what the appearance of every good family might do in an attempt to find their loved one. Then again, you did exactly what Don Wells and all the other crook lowlifes, losers do when something happens to them or something happens to one of their loved ones and they want money. They want money. And let me tell you what, Mary, you can't pay for it. You may end up paying for it, but you cannot. Nor can Jimbo. Why wouldn't you, ma'am, go somewhere with someone that has resources? Because that's not what you were after. You were after a place that you could make some money, a quick buck or two. You did that last night. Now, quite naturally, there's going to be a backstory between Sandra and Mary that I don't know the full gist of yet. Jimbo doesn't know shit. He knows zilch, zero, nada. He doesn't even know as much as I learned in 10 minutes speaking with her. It was, that's right. Nicolina is absolutely correct. Mary was only her guardian for a very short time and then kicked her out. And then she's been living with a man that beat a child out of her. This man beat a child out of her, put another child in her, and Mary's here crying on Jimbo's channel like she actually was concerned. Now, I don't want to take concern away because that's a very obtuse of me to do that. But let me tell you what, after he beat one child out of this child, somebody has to do something. Miss Mary, she could not. She physically actually could not. And I don't know Mary's situation, but if you've got all this extra time, Mary, to come here on the internet and boo-hoo and piss and moan, now, again, I'm not saying you're not upset. I think probably what you're experiencing and what you will be experiencing later on today is something I can't put into words, nor will I even attempt to. It is a feat far beyond my pay grade. But what I am here for is I am here, and you guys know I don't ask anybody to do anything when it comes to money. If you have some extra coin, just be on the lookout. I will be posting a GoFundMe. Someone will. Jimbo and them will not. I will tell you this. If you see a GoFundMe and it is being arranged by a Miss Mary, a Miss Jimbo, or any of them people, report it immediately. If you see one created by Mary or any other name, if you're not sure, speak with Nicolina, speak with me. You can reach out to whomever you need to do to legitimize the fact that you're not dumping more coin on Mary and Jimbo. Okay? Now, this started out a very medial troll. I was not equipped and prepared to get involved. I am now. I'm prepared to take it the length of the field. I'm prepared to do for this family what Jimbo never could with his child molesting self. People, we have to do better as a society. We have to do the way that we think about things and the way that we react to things. all of that and everything in between. Just because he marries children and him himself been responsible for making sure two parents worried night and day about where their child was, where their daughter was, does not qualify you, sir, to be helping in active cases or even closed cases. You need to stick to what you do best. That's being a leech, being broke, and talking about Ernie and Shelby Shell. That's really the extent of it. That's it. Because your qualifications as a child molester and someone that testified, well, a snitch, you're just a snitch, bro. You're not even a glorified snitch. Because you didn't even, well, you may have. You got involved in some shit that you weren't even involved in. Unless you were involved in it, sir. And I think that that's highly plausible. I mean, we're talking about Kentuckian courts that'll make Ernie Shell a colonel and let you marry a child. Now, this isn't an anime child. This isn't an internet personality child. This is a real child. A real one. Just like Anastasia is. I keep speaking of her in a different tense. Just like she is. You people got to do better. Queen Ashley, all of you. Like Queen Ashley, you shared that shit. I am so disappointed in you. I'm going to do whatever I can to make sure I never have to run across your name ever again. Because what you're doing now, Miss Queen Ashley, and the others, Chasing Justice, Mamita, all of the rest of you losers, what you're doing now is helping propel. Well, you're not propelling shit. You're trying to help propel a man who is a two-time back-to-back within 365 days. He's had sexual contacts with 2 children. And now he sits back and he gloats. He gloats because he has all of you with the hook bone deep. Do you understand? Bone deep. Got to do better. But then the old parable is there. Some of us, if we knew better, we'd do better. We just don't. We just don't, do we, Jimbo? Kemper. How is it I haven't been involved in any of this, but I already know everything that you don't? Why? Because you hooked up with the wrong one. Nicolina put me with the right one. The one who makes the decisions, who will make decisions, and the one who knows. She is not the missing child's mother. And I think that, I don't know, but what I'm getting from the connotation in the chat is this, is that she said she's the child's mother, but then never actually injected who she was to the child actually, right? She just said, I'm her mom, and left it at that. Because she felt like probably no one was ever going to be the wiser, correct? Now, when I go around and I talk about my stepdaughter, for instance, which I don't do very often anymore, but when I do, I will say my daughter. But then I will very quickly follow it up by saying, I married into this situation, or it is my stepdaughter, or it is this, or it is that. I make sure that the thread of realism is in it, and that people understand, oh, okay, so he's not the actual father. She is not the actual mother, and I'm guessing she left it to let all of you believe that she was. And Jimbo, I don't know if he knew or he didn't, but he lies about everything else, like PlayStations and clerks and ages and and on and on and on. So I'm guessing he knew. Because that place over there is just a place. It's an outlet for you people to go and spend your money. Please come join, if you would, madam. Please. We're going to have Nicolina come up, and she's going to go ahead and she's going to give us a little more insight. Here she is here. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. Okay, for those of you that are blinded by your hate for me and or BK, you can continue to deny truth. It's not our problem, but I will tell you this. I looked up information on this young lady on Facebook to see if there was like something I could share on Facebook. When I typed in her name, it brought up a bunch of posts. Well, one of those posts was from a woman named Sandra. Sandra was leaving comments explaining how she's the biological grandmother and Mary Taylor is in no way, shape, or form this young lady's mother, stepmother, adopted mother. And she went on very long, like we're talking probably 600-700 words or more, stating Mary is known to be a chronic liar, that Mary had guardianship of Anastasia for a very short period of time when she was a teenager, that Mary kicked her out into the streets within a year. That's how she ended up in the arms of the man that allegedly assaulted her so badly that her baby that was almost full term had to be induced to deliver a stillborn. She is
Ernie, you're not welcome here, sir. Do not come back ever again, sir. I'm banning you forever. Stay away.
There has been serious developments in this case, and guess who isn't aware? Mary.
Correct.
Because Mary did not adopt her, despite her lying to say that as well. So grandmother's very confused why Miss Mary would be accepting cash apps in behalf of a child that is not her child, or any relation, or have any current relationship with. So I'm not saying that this was done intentionally by the stand, but Mary knew that she could go there and no one was going to vet anything.
Wow.
So I'm just telling you, the outlook doesn't look well. And her actual blood relation confirmed everything I need to know. So that's it. I just wanted to make that very clear for people that were really struggling to comprehend what you are saying.
I'm shook. Of course, Miss Nicolina knows the gist of what I know, and it's a sad testament to abusive men, and clout chasing and deceit, and I do want to go ahead and tell you thank you so much for what you did this morning. You don't even know what you did for many people that are in the mix of this stuff now.
Right.
It's a
And
beautiful thing.
again, see, there's still some struggling to understand. Mary, aka Devoted Survivor Warrior, is not related to Anastasia. She is not a step parent to Anastasia. She did not adopt Anastasia. This is not her child. Period. Jessica, we can't go into any further details, but if you can pick up some of the I can't say, read between the lines. It's, if you will. That was communicated between Sandra to BK when he called her this morning. Because I thought, well, if this woman, if this child, this young lady is still missing, the place where the family should not be on the stand to get this moving and get it attention. It would need to be on a bigger channel like Benny Q's. That is why I reached out to the grandmother. She gave me her phone number. I gave it to BK, and then he got the bigger details. That has not been updated publicly.
Correct.
So for now, we'll still say she's missing.
Correct. That's what we'll say until Miss Sandra comes and gives the full details, or
the media
decides, or the media,
or the media. The child, Linda, her mother's name is Allison. She has a history of drug use. She was raised by her grandmother, Sandra, until she was age 16 when she started having some medical issues and asked Mary to be her temporary guardian.
Correct.
Mary ended up kicking Anastasia out at 16. And when she kicked her out, she ran right to her current abuser. So that's...
And never was able to leave.
Right. So, all right, I'm going to drop down.
Thank you so
for letting
much,
me pop up.
Miss Nicolina. You're a godsend this morning. I hope you have a great day. Be safe.
You as well. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Well, that's what there is. It's what we've got. It's a lot. There's many problems that we're not going to be able to fix. Many problems with all of this, specifically and generically. We can't fix the kind of problems that we're encountering with these men and with these on YouTube who hide themselves and cloak themselves. We can't fix it in one day. We can't fix it in 1 year. Probably can't fix it in 1 century. But we can fix it. We can fix it. When we hear the word boycott, people, boycott means, well, in that term, boycott means I'm not going to say anything in regards to what I'm boycotting. Not just for the day. Boycotts aren't 1 day. Boycotts aren't 1 hour. They're for good. All of that shit over there is shit. And I know you good folks can tell I'm trying to watch my mouth. And this is, for me, the real test, right? Can I really watch my mouth when I am this angry about the performance? Because I know now what went on over there. You guys ever hear me say the absence of evidence is not the evidence, is the absence of evidence the evidence of absence? You can say it the other way and it means the same thing. Anyways, I hope you have a better day than Sandra and Anastasia and the people that love her and the people that have tried to help and the people that will help from today moving forward. I think the bright spot in all of this is that there will be some answers in the coming days. It is no longer a mystery. With that, I want to thank all of you for joining me at this early morning. I'm going to try to go lay back down and get the side of my neck to stop thumping because I'm just so sad, but yet I'm so angry at the same time. I don't know if I'm coming or going. Anyhow, with that, please pray for Anastasia, for her baby. Pray for Sandra. And pray for one last person. That person is Mary. Because the way that I interpret prayer is that I cannot pray for me something that I don't want for Mary. I have to pray for Mary the same things I want for me in my life. Remember, the absence of evidence is not the evidence of absence. God bless you all.
Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. It's not warm when she's away. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. She's always gone too long. Anytime she goes away. Wonder this time where she's gone. Wonder if she's gonna stay. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. This house just ain't no home. Anytime she goes away.
Yes, please. Ricky, you can share it, sir. Thank you, sir. God bless you all.